Hello, everyone. For my birthday this year, my parents got me this book. It's called The Golden Thread, How Fabric Changed History by Cassia St. Clair. It's been a very intriguing read. It's been very enjoyable. I haven't finished yet, but I've been enjoying it very much. But there's one part earlier in the book that really caught my attention. So in this part of the book that I'm going to be talking about, St. Clair's writing about silk in China and how the best way that we know about how silk was used in the past was in its role in death, as she says. So the silk that's been entombed in tombs. Didn't mean to make it a pun, but I'm not mad at it. So here St. Clair writes, grave inventories sometimes stretch the truth of the silks actually included in the tombs. One such document, included in a tomb sealed in 548, lists 1,000 pieces of brocade, 10,000 of damask, and a piece of yarn 1,090,000 feet long, which it airily explained would be used for climbing to heaven. 1,090,000 feet long? I have no frame of reference for how big that is. I can't even comprehend this number. It's such a weird number too. You go with 1 billion and then you do an extra 90,000. Today, you get to watch me do math as I try to figure out this frame of reference for myself. In the past, math wasn't my favorite subject at school, but I was relatively decent at it, so I have the confidence that I have the skills to figure this out, to at least get a frame of reference for myself. So I'm going to change the setup a little bit here. Be back in a second. All right, I'm back. So here we have my little whiteboard on the ceiling. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to start writing out some stuff. So the number for the yarn is 1,090,000 feet. Oh, I may have to write smaller. We'll see. So that's billion. That's million. $90,000, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a moment. I need to start erasing. I need an eraser. Okay. I mean, this is a Studio Fabric and ooh, this could work. We'll see how that goes. All right. Oh, yeah. So that actually happens here. There you go. 1,090,000 feet. In order to convert this into a number, oh, you guys can't see that, can you? Stupid lamp. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. To convert this to a number that I can more easily think about, I'm going to convert it into miles. I'll get it as small as possible. There are 500, it's either 5,280 feet in a mile or 5,820 feet in a mile. This is when I'm going to get out the little converter. Yeah. 280 feet in a mile. So I'm not actually going to do the long division on this. I'm going to let Google do that part for me. So we're going to put in 1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion. That's 4 zeros, 9, 4 zeros. Ooh. If it wasn't for a 1, it'd be a palindrome. Okay. So that makes this about 1,895.64 miles. Huh. That number's smaller than I thought it was going to be. Now, for a frame of reference, I have a pound of yarn. So this is a pound of yarn. It's already quite a lot of yarn. This is like the biggest I can buy in one skein. So on the label, if I can read it, okay, there you go. On the label, 1 pound of yarn is 812 yards. 812 yards. Which, for those of you who sensibly live under the metric system, that's 742 meters. For 1 pound. At least for this particular skein, which is Caron. The Caron yarn is 100% acrylic, which is not the same weight as silk. Silk is much thinner, much finer. But it's what I have for reference, so that's what we're using. I did not use the right abbreviation for pound. We're going to change my 1 here. There you go, that's the abbreviation for pound. All right. So we're going to convert this into miles too. Mile to yard conversion. So 812 yards equals 4, 6, 1, 3, 6, 4 is the exact, but I rounded that to 2 decimal points. So I'm also going to round this to 2 decimal points to make life easier, which I don't have to worry about rounding up because it was under 5. So this is not quite a mile of yarn right here. Now you could wonder, hey Becky, why didn't you just change the feet into yards and then you could do less math and not have to worry about the decimals? It's like, well, I wanted a smaller number, and also that's what calculators are for. That's literally why calculators were invented. So now we're going to find out how many pounds of yarn is that. Alright, so let's pull up the calculator here. 1895 divided by, oh wait, I'm not done yet. Okay, 1895.64 divided by, oh, it thought I wanted to divide it by itself. I was decent at math in school, but I'm out of practice now. Alright, that divided by 0.46. Alright. So, if I wanted to buy enough acrylic yarn to make it this long, I would need 4,120.95, which means we're just going to round this to 421. We're just going to do that. Pounds. So you would need 4,121 pounds. Well, not pounds. Yeah, pounds. So you would need 121 skeins of this yarn to equal the amount of yarn that was buried in that tomb in ancient China. Guy had money to burn. And since this was made to reach to heaven, it's like, would this actually be enough for its intended purpose? So I took the liberty of looking up some more frames of reference here. Yeah. So the length of the circumference of the Earth in miles would be 901 miles equals the equator. So it's definitely not making it around the world. You would need like several of these strings to make it around the world. I wonder if it would be the length of the Pacific Ocean. Like, I guess I should ask, how wide is the Pacific Ocean? There we go. Oh, yes. It wouldn't even make it across the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is 9,600 miles. But also, how far does the Earth's atmosphere expand? The Earth's atmosphere is, according to Google, 390,000 miles. Which means Mr. Rich Guy from the past severely underestimated how much yarn it would take to get to heaven. You can find out how badly by doing the math. Calculator time. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Divided by this number here. So 1895.64 equals... he was short by over 200 times. Like, he underestimated by over 200 times, which means that the universe is a lot bigger than humans give it credit for. Especially like in ancient times when they didn't really have the resources to find out how big the universe was. Yeah. That was today's math experience. Now, my sister is actually a math teacher, and I can promise you she's much better at this than I am. But I hope this gives you a frame of reference for how long 1,090,000 feet of yarn is. Have a nice day.